Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the daily press briefing. In the Port of Spain division, there was a marijuana eradication exercise around 2 p.m. on Thursday, the 22nd of March, 2012. Officers of the Port of Spain Task Force, under the supervision of number 12647, Sergeant Bruno, acting on information received, went to Upper Mount Hololo St. Anne's, where they discovered a marijuana field with approximately 2,000 fully grown trees with an estimated street value of $200,000. They also found 4 kilograms of compressed marijuana wrapped in a black plastic bag in an empty lot of land. The value of that marijuana was $80,000. No one was arrested, and the marijuana trees were destroyed. In the Southwestern Division, during the period 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Thursday, the 22nd of March, 2012, police officers of the Southwestern Division, under the supervision of Senior Superintendent Ramsey, conducted a divisional road traffic exercise where 76 fixed penalty notices were issued for various traffic offenses. Also, an anti-crime exercise was conducted in the Superior District from 4 p.m. yesterday to 8 a.m. this morning. 17 persons were arrested for narcotic offenses and outstanding warrants. And with respect to the issue of protest, trade disputes, within recent times, members of the police service have been called out to quell disturbances arising out of trade disputes. The TTPS recognizes that from time to time, employees will have issues arising out of their contract and terms of employment with their employers. In fact, legislation has given effect to these issues. Section 3 of the Trade Disputes and Protection of Property Act, Chapter 8803, expressly states, it shall be lawful for one or more persons acting on their own behalf or on behalf of a trade union or of an individual employer or firm in contemplation or furtherance of a trade dispute to attend at or near a house or place where a person resides or works or carries on business or happens to be, if they so attend merely for the purpose of peacefully obtaining or communicating information or of peacefully persuading any person to work or abstain from working, but nothing in this section shall be construed as conferring any legal right to enter or remain upon any land or premises. Section 4.1 states, it shall not be lawful for any person with a view to compel or induce any other person to abstain from doing or to do any act which such other person has a legal right to do or abstain from doing wrongfully and without legal authority, to A, use violence to or intimidate such other person or his wife or children or injure his property. Persistently follow such other person about from place to place. Hide any tools, clothes, or other property owned or used by such other person, or deprive him of or hinder him in the use thereof. Watch or beset the house or other place where such other persons resides, or works or carries on business or happens to be, or the approach to such house or place, or E, follow such other person in a disorderly manner in or through any street or road. Any person who acts in contravention of the provisions of this section is liable to a fine of $750, or to imprisonment for 3 months. Any such person may be arrested without a warrant by a constable. In addition, Section 64(1) of the Summary Offences Act states, any person who commits any of the following offenses in any street, for each offense, liable to a fine of $200 or to imprisonment for 1 month. That is to say, and L specifically states, throws or discharges any missile or makes any bonfire. N, in any way willfully obstructs the free passage of any street, and the definition of street includes any road, square, court, alley, lane, wharf, jetty, quay, bridge, footway, thoroughfare, public passage or highway, and any public place, and the waters of any harbor in Trinidad and Tobago. There are also offenses created under the Highways Act, Chapter 4801. 51 states, any person who, without lawful authority or excuse, in any way willfully obstruct the free passage along a highway is liable to a fine of $200. Section 2, a constable may arrest without a warrant any person whom he sees committing an offense under this section. The Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Regulation 4850, Section 38(6) also caters, a driver of a motor vehicle shall not negligently or willfully prevent, hinder, or interrupt the free passage of any vehicle or person or animal, and shall not allow such motor vehicle and any trailer drawn thereby to stand in such road so as to cause any unnecessary obstruction thereto. The Litter Act also caters, Section 3(1), a person who, without reasonable excuse, deposits any litter in or on any public place other than in a receptacle place for the purpose of collecting it, or in or at any approved site, and is guilty of offense against this act. Public place, again, includes every motorway, road, street, footpath, access way, alley, lane, court, and thoroughfare, any park, garden, or other place of public recreation to which the public has access without payment of any fees. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our press briefing. I would now accommodate any questions that you may have.
Morning, ma'am. In relation to the last aspect of the press briefing, has anyone been arrested in relation to any of those offenses that you made mention of, what is taking place with the OWTU and the TCL?
Not to my knowledge.
Is the police then warning of possible arrests so as to cease and desist from the burning of tires and stuff in the Nations Road?
Well, that was done on yesterday's date. The head of the strike, the leader of the strike action, he was provided with a copy of the different pieces of legislation so that they would be aware of what the law requires in such circumstances.
And if, God forbid, and the law as well, the actions were to be repeated, what would the police be doing?
Well, I have outlined in clear terms what the law specifies here, and any breach of the law will result in action being taken against the offenders.
So there's a possibility, and I need this clarified, that if the protesters were to continue in the way that they are going, then arrests will be made.
I'm saying that if there is any breach of the law as it relates to the action that they may be taken, that they may be liable to be arrested.
Those actions that they took in the past, it's a breach of the law?
Well, they would have taken several actions, which you
In terms of burning tires in the roadway?
That is obstructing the free passageway of the street, and that caters under several pieces of legislation that I would have outlined here.
But who will be held responsible for that, if anyone were to be held responsible?
The persons who would have actually done this.
And how will the police be able to determine who would have done this?
Of course, the police will only act when they have evidence to.
Okay. So is that the police service is bluffing then? Because they will not be able, because they are called in after the whole thing is done. Is it that the police is bluffing in hopes that the these strikers and they don't continue their actions?
Our function as police officers, one, is sensitize members of the public and to protect, to sensitize them on issues of the law, what the law is, and of course to ensure that there are no breaches. We don't peddle bluffs.
Okay then, ma'am. I'm going back to some earlier issues that you raised. You made mention of the marijuana fine. Could you state whether or not the use of the light aircraft, the Zenith light aircraft, was used in this marijuana fine?
Well, if I am to answer you, I would be giving off information that, of course, is very confidential, and that is our crime fighting strategy. So that I am saying it would have assisted in various aspects, and as you would have seen the results highlighted here each day. So to tell you, to go into details to tell you how we would have gotten that information, how we would have our crime fighting strategies, I would not.
Well,
and for obvious reasons.
We have seen in the past the use of CCTV cameras for the arrest and prosecution of some people. The police have not made any, and to use my words here, hiccups in revealing that the CCTV cameras have been used in these things. I'm not asking is it if the Zenith aircraft will be used, but in the past, and this one specifically, was it used?
And I will answer that by saying there were several crime fighting strategies that had been, there was a collaborated effort where we would have used several strategies, and that would have been included. So that
in this specific fine?
No, no.
In other fines?
That is as much as I'm prepared to say on that issue.
Okay.
I would now call on Mr. Bedesi from the Central Division, who would tell us something about the policing for the 21st century.
Okay, good morning. In keeping with the police service commitment to reduce crime by working with the communities with respect to the 21st century policing strategy, police officers of the community of Felicity, which falls in the Chaguanas Police Station District, have gotten together, numbering more than 30 of them, and they will be walking along the streets of Felicity, going house to house on Sunday morning at 7 o'clock to give the community the reassurance that they will be working together with them to reduce crime and the fear of crime in their community. In addition, they have decided that they are going to start a police youth club so that all young persons between the age of 5 to 25 who reside in that district, they will be given the opportunity to enroll as a member of the police youth club so that the police officers in that community can engage these young people in positive action, such as sports, basketball, football, cricket, tennis, academics, helping them to cope with challenges at school, culture, working on the cultural background of that particular community, engaging the young people to develop the culture and use it as a tool to socialize with each other. And so these are the three main areas that the 30-plus police officers from the community of Felicity will be engaged in. They will be headed by Senior Superintendent Devdat Tulalchan, who is the present commander of the Central Division. And so we expect after Sunday's walk that there will be a change an attitude in the community in the way in which the police and the community deal with each other. And that is one of the key things that we're hoping to achieve in addition to fostering this development with the young people via this police sports club, that there will be a strong bond of trust and friendship with the police and the community so that we'll be able to work different strategies to reduce crime and to have a better quality of life for all the people in that area.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Any further questions?